Uncommon Sense with the Senior Delinquents.
The Army is giving recruits who fail to meet requirements the first time around a second chance. According to the Army, 71% of recruits do not qualify.
Okay, Mr. Dump.
Maz. Just call me Maz. Maz Dump.
Sure, not a problem. We're really excited about the Second Chance program and its opportunity for you to serve your country and the military.
It's like a box of chocolates. Only here, it's 10 grenades.
All right, Morris. What is it you want out of the military?
A tooth.
All right, well, we have to go through some paperwork and we'll get you sworn in. When you first joined the... when you first attempted to join the military, when was that?
Vietnam. But they said I had an eye problem.
Really? What was it?
They said my eye was too low and I had a Q classification, whatever that was. Low IQ.
I see that problem has cleared up, and we won't need to do any other testing for that. So, do you have any employment?
Huh?
Do you work?
Yeah, some. At the local college.
Impressive. What do you do?
Cut some grass and help out on the football team. Tackling dummy.
Oh, so you handle the equipment?
I are the equipment.
All right. Well, step on up and we'll get... Just hop on up and we'll get you sworn in.
Desperate times and desperate situations lead to acts of desperation. In sport, at the end of a football game, there's a Hail Mary pass in the final seconds in a desperate act to win the game. Sometimes acts of desperation are heroic, as in World War II, when thousands of British boats rescued the army from the Germans trapped on the beaches of Dunkirk on the French coast. Others are tragic, when at the end of the war, Adolf Hitler let thousands of children die in a desperate attempt to save himself and Berlin. Well, welcome in once again, everybody, to what you know is going to be another great edition of Uncommon Sense with the Senior Delinquents. And this show is on desperation. I'm Dennis Silvers in Las Vegas, along with my great co-host Jamie McWilliams in the beautiful Sunshine State of Florida, and he is in Tampa. Jamie, I've got to ask you this. Have you ever found yourself in a desperate situation that, heaven forbid, could have ended up tragically?
Yes, Dennis. My senior year in high school with my best friend, we decided to take a trip down to the Jersey Shore, stay overnight with a friend, and at that time the water's warm, but the beaches are empty, there are no lifeguards, and we decided to go in the water anyway and have a nice swim. And as we're swimming, we noticed that we were going kind of in the wrong direction. The shoreline kept getting further away. We tried to swim at it, but the more we tried, we noticed the further we were still getting away. Desperation set in, some panic, and I said, we got to try something else. I didn't know anything about riptides, which we were caught in, but I said, let's try going sideways. And we were able, at some point, we saw that we were no longer going out, and we made it back to shore, but we were, at that point, totally exhausted, and we knew that if we had not been able to change the arc of where we were going out to sea, and that would have been the end of us.
That is unreal. That is unreal.
How about you, Dennis? You ever been in a desperate situation yourself?
I have been, and the one that comes to mind most immediately is when I was in high school, Jamie. Just graduated. Everybody's getting ready for the big senior prom. I'd been working for weeks and weeks targeting this beautiful young lady. I had asked to the senior prom, and she said yes. I was elated. The night comes of the big dance, and I get a call that Murphy's Law, she's got a bad cold and she can't go. I am desperate. I start getting on the phone at home. I start calling gals that I knew in high school till I found somebody that said, oh, I'd love to go with you. So it ended up okay. We went, had a nice time, but I was desperate, Jamie.
Okay, so here I'm ready to die. Your desperation is you're afraid of terminal horniness or something. That's a heck of a contrast.
Right.
Well, anyway, Dennis, there are other desperate situations, especially in these times of politics. And when politicians get in desperate situations, they tend to say things that are pretty desperate. Remember when Bill Clinton was being impeached?
I want you to listen to me. I'm going to say this again. I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Well, you have to listen carefully, but they repeated the question 3 times. You mean Hillary? No, not really, just a little joke. But you know, it's really important that you, when you're in a situation with the police or with somebody like that, that you keep your head, because I once had a trip when I was in graduate school up to New York City. I drove in because we lived not too far away in Pennsylvania to see a great presentation at CBS Sports. But with the confusing parking situation, inadvertently, I had parked in a no parking area. And when I came back, not only was it a no parking area, but it was a no car of mine area. Well, I actually took the time, didn't panic, went to court, waited for a couple hours watching a real crazy shitload of cases. But when I came to the judge, maybe he was just tired at that point or liked the relief. I was honest with him, pled my case. He smiled and said, you can take your car right out of impound. Beautiful ending to what I could have been a real problem for me. But you know what? We do have a sponsor who has not the least bit of problem with the legal end of it. And let's take a look at what they have to offer for us.
You know me as Larry Klayman, the founder of both Judicial Watch and Freedom Watch. Do not be fooled by the Republican victory in the House of Representatives and in Congress, because nothing will change for the next 2 years. Joe Biden will continue to be the president. He will veto everything the Republicans want. He will not enforce the rule of law. We at Freedom Watch must do this. Please contribute at freedomwatchusa.org, and please get my book, It Takes a Counter-Revolution, Wake Up America. God save America.
Well, we're back, Dennis, and you know, in today's political climate, our president has been a little rough on the other side.
This MAGA crowd is really the most extreme political organization that's existed in American history.
MAGA, Republicans, the greatest threat, they're not really publicizing this, but they're gearing up for it, and they also are including other aspects you don't think about. What about the MAGA chickens? You know, there are almost 500 million of them ready to pounce. And for the eco-craze set, they're targeting the ultra MAGA super cows. Almost 1 million of them. And poof, you can smell that one coming from a mile away.
I want to remind all of our great audience, listen, you could catch our show on our website, seniordelinquents.com, and you can also catch us on YouTube as well as Rumble. So if you missed the show, all you got to do is go to those sites and give yourself about 15 minutes worth of pleasure.
Well put, Dennis, and you know, I do have a final act of desperation. I had to roll a drunk for this. It's cucumber, soda, alcohol. Well, let me try it. All I can say is, I can't say it.